Hi, vinyl community. It has been a long time. I am very sorry. I have a huge stack of records here, as I usually do. Um, this is a very stacked lineup, though. Um, so I am just going to get into it. I might not spend as much time talking about individual records as I usually do, but this is so much great stuff. So. First up, some hip-hop. JID, DiCaprio 2. This is his mixtape from 2018. Fantastic, awesome Southern hip-hop. I love JID. I'm happy that they pressed this on vinyl. Fairly standard on Dreamville, but yeah, I'm glad this is out and it actually got pressed. Killer Mike, RAP Music. Awesome, his first collaboration with LP before they started Run the Jewels. And Run the Jewels 4 came out. I love it. It's one of my favorite albums of this year, and I finally decided that I needed to have this in the collection. I got it for a very good price. Next up, Gang of Four, Solid Gold. Their follow-up to their excellent debut album, Entertainment, which is one of my favorite post-punk albums of all time. This one's not far behind. This is really, really fantastic music from Gang of Four. Less upfront, less poppy, not as many hooks as Entertainment has, but Solid Gold is harder on the grooves. It's a bit easier to dance to. A lot of fun. He'd Send in the Army, Why Theory, Cheeseburger, all fantastic songs. And the EPs that followed Solid Gold are really great too. Album from last year. Some free jazz, avant-garde jazz, Matana Roberts, Coin Coin Chapter 4, the latest in her Coin Coin series of albums. This is beautiful, it is emotionally taxing, Matana she outdoes herself every time she puts out a record. This one is great, it's a bit more tuneful than the first two in the Coin Coin series. A bit more influence from jazz poetry. There's an ongoing poem throughout the narrative of this record, but it is very beautiful. If you're into avant-garde jazz and free jazz, you really should check this album out. Matana Roberts, Coin Coin Chapter 4. This is Sly and the Family Stone, Small Talk. I'm a big Sly and the Family Stone fan, and this was very cheap at McKay's, like $2. I had never heard it, and I have a friend of mine that kind of lives and dies by this album. I have never really heard it before. I knew that it's sort of considered the drop-off point, but I also knew that this is the last one with the original band. So I gave it a try, and it's really not bad. I mean, it's not as good as Fresh or There's a Riot Going On, but it's not, like, bad or anything. I don't know. So, I mean, if you want some more funk, if you want some more Sly Stone, give this a try. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's always cheap, and really, I think it's pretty good. So yeah, Sly and the Family Stone, Small Talk. This is a Blue Note 75 reissue. Joe Henderson, page 1. I haven't got any Blue Note 80s yet. I'm waiting. Before I show this, I will say I ordered the Purple Moonlight pages vinyl. I did. I had the money sitting around. I wanted to support Milo. So, yeah. I know there's been like a controversy about how much it cost. And it does cost a lot. And I did buy it. But, yeah. I wanted to support him. I went for it. So I'm happy I did. And if you want to support Milo and you have the money, get the Purple Moonlight pages vinyl. I mean, dude had to cancel like 5 tours. So if he wants to make his record $80, he can do that if people buy it. And I bought one. Okay. Anyway, back to the records. Joe Henderson, page 1. This is a Blue Note 75 reissue. Kenny Dorham, Joe Henderson, McCoy Tyner, Butch Warren, and Pete LaRocca. I'm really happy that Pete LaRocca is on this. I think he's underrated, and I still need to get Basra. I think Basra is a part of the Blue Note 80 series. I have had a few misses with some of these Blue Note 75 pressings. I got Free For All by Art Blakey. A lot of cracks and pops. I was a little disappointed. But this one sounds great. And I love this album. Kind of a Latin flavor. Joe Henderson, of course, is really one of the most underrated sax players. So yeah, Joe Henderson, page 1. Vinyl Me Please pressing here. LP, I'll Sleep When You're Dead. I just talked about Run the Jewels and Killer Mike. This is obviously pre-Run the Jewels. LP is pretty much my favorite rapper producer ever. He's great. I had to get this Vinyl Me Please pressing because L's albums have been out of print for so long on this really cool kind of smoky red vinyl. Yeah, and I mean, I'm just really happy this got a repress. The only thing I'm kind of disappointed about is that Fantastic Damage doesn't have a repress yet. I mean, you'd think they'd do Fantastic Damage before this one, but yeah, I mean, as far as sound quality goes, it's a VMP pressing, so it does sound really good. I've yet to get a Vinyl Me Please pressing that does not sound good. I'm not even going to try and get this back in the sleeve. I am not even going to try. This is embarrassing. These Blake sleeves that they do with the Vinyl Me Please pressings, they're really kind of lame. I like the little obi strip that they give with them, but I hate fiddling with them, and they break down the sides so easily. Anyway, complaints over, because that's a great pressing. I'm happy about it. JPEG Mafia, All My Heroes Are Cornballs. Did not like this at first. Listened to it like 5 more times and realized, oh wow, I actually do like that a lot. There's a lot of singing on this. The singing is really my favorite part, honestly. It kind of changes up the way that JPEG sounds. His production still sounds good. His rapping, while not as good as it is on this album right here, The Veteran, the singing is better on here. And it's really interesting. He uses auto-tune in a lot of cool ways. Yeah, and I mean, I just really like JPEG a lot. And I'm glad he put this out, and I'm glad it grew on me. And you can get that for really cheap. But what you can't get for really cheap is what I just showed you. Now, I did not get this recently. I brought this because I wanted to hear it, because I brought All My Heroes Are Cornballs. And I just looked on Discogs. This thing is worth like $300. I pre-ordered this when it came out for like $20. And it's like through the roof somehow. So yeah, I'm really happy I have this. I mean, I love this album. Like I said, the rapping is better on this. And this one is definitely, it's a bit harder to chew on, in my opinion, than Cornballs is. Because the singing on Cornballs, at least, it gives you kind of something to hang on to there. This one is a little more hit or miss. But I think it's pretty much hits all the way through. I like it, and I'm glad JPEG is taking off. He deserves it. He's a cool guy. Next up, Rand Blake, Duke Dreams, the Legacy of Strayhorn Ellington. This is a tribute album to Duke Ellington. It's just Rand Blake playing piano by himself, which is fine. This is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's relaxing music. It really pays tribute to what a great composer Duke Ellington was. Rand Blake is not playing these songs like he's really making them his own. But I think that just shows the strength of those Duke Ellington compositions. And there's a really nifty thing written on the back here that will just give you a better idea of how Rand Blake feels about the songs. This is an album, this is on Soul Note. I really got into this a couple years ago, and it's never for sale in the US because this was pressed in Europe. It's not expensive or anything, but I saw someone on Discogs had one for $7 here in the US, so I picked it up. So if you're interested in Rand Blake or Soul Note, or you want to hear some kind of odd interpretations of Duke Ellington songs, I highly recommend that you check out Duke Dreams. This album is wonderful. Next up here, one of my favorite rock albums of all time. I'm so happy I finally have any copy of this. The New York Dolls, In Too Much Too Soon. I love the Dolls. Even as, I mean, obviously they were important for proto-punk, but I just like them because I think it's wonderful rock music. This is on the Mercury Skyscraper label. I'm not going to take it out because you probably know what that looks like. But yeah, this album is just wonderful. Songwriting is fantastic. David Johansen is one of the most amazing frontmen there ever was. Johnny Thunders is fantastic. Listen to all of his solo stuff. Listen to a couple of David's solo albums. And yeah, Dolls never missed, man. First two Dolls albums are literally perfect. And their comeback album from 2006, One Day It Will Please Us to Remember Even This, is what it's called, is nearly perfect. It's wonderful. I love this band. I love this album. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Dirt Rock. Give it a try. Yeah. The New York Dolls. Into Much Too Soon. I have a Japanese pressing of their debut as well, but I don't have that here with me right now. Can't remember if I showed this or not. If I did, I'll just be short with it. Halloween. Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. Power metal, heavy metal, kind of cheesy, really good riffs, really good vocals, fun to listen to, exciting music, and it doesn't go for much. So if you see this around, pick it up. I think it's great if you're a metal fan. And you don't necessarily like power metal. I think this is interesting enough to sort of transcend that label. The riffs are great. They are fantastic. Check it out. Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. We're getting there. We're getting there. Wes Montgomery, Moving Wes on Verve. This is Wes with a big band. You would think that would kind of cripple him a little bit, but honestly, I think it sounds really good. There's lots of tunes on here. Wes isn't exactly playing as... his playing isn't amazing on here. He doesn't really do any of like cool long runs, but the sounds of the chords on here are amazing. Nobody plays chords the way Wes does, and I mean, it's Wes. If you want to hear him, you could really get anything. You could even get the stuff on A&M that people don't really like. I love that stuff. I mean, the production's kind of bad, but I like to hear him playing no matter what. And in this big band setting, you really could do worse. It's a joy to hear him play the guitar, and yeah, and this was cheap. $7. Moving Wes. Next up, this is a gift from my wonderful friend and bandmate, Waves, King of the Beach. I don't really like Waves, but I like this album. It's good. The songs are good. It's poppy. It's fun. It's kind of gritty and dirty sounding, but it's sunny and fun. On the other hand, bratty punk music. I don't really usually like music in this style, but I think the songwriting on this is just, it's too fun, too creative for me to dismiss it into the category that a lot of other bands like Fiddler lie in. So yeah, this is really good. If you like that psyche, garagey, poppy kind of sound, please give this album a listen, because I just think it's so much fun. Waves, King of the Beach. More jazz. I've been needing this. I'm so happy I found it. $6. Dave Brubeck, Time Out. This is a 1962 pressing on, I believe it's a Columbia 2i. Yep. And it's in mono. This is the little record that could. It should look like, it looks like it should play like crap. It sounds fantastic. The sleeve is in great shape. And this is just, this is the one that I needed. Maybe everyone doesn't need this. It's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people think it's kind of boring. I don't think it's boring. I mean, I think it's nice. I like the sound of Dave Brubeck's playing. I like Jazz Goes to College. I think these are two records that if you like jazz, throw them in your collection. They don't usually cost much. But I mean, it's like Thriller. People want them, so they usually kind of go fast or they get priced up. But if you go on Discogs and you look through the whole list setting, price lowest to highest, you can find a good copy of this for like $10. So yeah, Dave Brubeck, Time Out. Another Vinyl Me Please pressing. I got it because it was warped, but it plays fine on my turntable. So I got a cheap Vinyl Me Please pressing. I think this is $10. Mavis Staples, self-titled, on Volt. I love this early Mavis stuff. I like One for the Lonely a little bit more than this one, but that record has a lot of sentimental value to me. This one is good too. It has her doing a version of Son of a Preacher Man, which is exciting to hear. I like to hear Mavis sing anything, and this is a great repress. A lot of love put into these Vinyl Me Please pressings, like I said, and this one comes with a drink recipe. A drink recipe. I mean, really, that's creativity, VMP. Heavyweight tip-on style jacket, 180-gram Tiger's Eye colored vinyl. Remastered by Kevin Gray from the original analog tapes. Now, thank you, Kevin. I'm happy to have this. Thank you for remastering it. VMP pressing. One of my favorite albums of all time, Not going to say much about it because I think I've shown it before. I bought another copy because I like to have lots of copies of it. The Roaches, self-titled, on Warner Brothers, produced by Robert Fripp. Not much to say about it. One of the greatest albums of all time. Listen to it. In my top 10 albums of all time. King Diamond, Abigail. Happy to finally have this. It's heavy metal. It's throttling. It's exciting. King Diamond's vocals are fun. A lot of people give them shit, but I like them. I think they're awesome. And the riffs on this are good. King Diamond's bands on here are just killing it. Yeah, this is a classic. Really, you can't go wrong with any of the first few King Diamond albums. I think The Spider's Eye is kind of a disappointment, but generally Conspiracy, Them, and this one, and then the one before that, Fatal Portrait, those are great. Those are awesome. If you like heavy metal, please listen to them. And finally, we come to and for me, the most exciting things that I got recently. I haven't gotten anything on eBay in a long, long time. I finally got into bidding on stuff again. And I have gotten stupid deals on some Miles Davis albums. There's one of them that was supposed to be here. It's not been here. It keeps floating around in distribution centers. I'm done with waiting on it. It's just a copy of Sorcerer. I spent like $10 on it, and it's a first pressing on the 2i. But yeah, so first one, Agharda. This was, I can't even remember how much it was, but I bid on it, and I got a really good deal on it. Agharda, yeah, a wonderful double album from Miles. Super underrated when it came out. Obviously, its critical standing has increased in the recent years as people, you know, start to like that crazier, skronkier Miles more. But I think this is awesome, and the version of Theme from Jack Johnson that plays at the end of this is one of the best Miles fusion tracks ever. So yeah, Agharda, this is in really good shape. The vinyl sounds awesome. There's a little bit of wear on the spine, which usually kind of bugs me, but I got this for so cheap that I really don't mind. Next up, my second favorite Miles Davis recording ever. Behind Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson's my favorite. I don't have a copy of it, sadly, but Jazz Track. This has the whole, this has one side that's the entirety of the Ascenseur pour les Chevaux sessions. Those are beautiful. They've been accompanying me my whole life. I love those sessions so much. I love that movie so much. And I'm happy to have this record because not only does it have those sessions on it, but it also has a whole other side of excellent music by Miles. I can't remember everything that's on it. I know On Green Dolphin Street is on there. But yeah, I'm just, so happy to have this. And finally, you've probably seen me post about this because I just posted about it today, but I'm over the moon. On the Corner. I finally have it. I finally have On the Corner. I've been looking for this for so long. I bid on it on eBay. I put in 2 bids, and I was the winner. I think I paid $25 for this plus shipping. It is amazing, but you know it's amazing. Yeah. So good. This artwork is so bright and vivid. I'm so happy to see it in front of me. I've never seen this artwork here inside. Bitches Brew what? Miles, man, we go way back. You know Kinda Blue. Miles is my main man, live and evil. And if I had a taste, I'd drink to Miles at the Fillmore. You know, what else can you say? So yeah, Miles Davis, On the Corner. That's it. That's all the records. It wasn't 20 minutes long. Thank God. Thank you for watching. I hope you do watch VC. And I hope you leave a comment. I love hearing from everybody. So thank you so much if you made it this far. Hope you're staying safe during the pandemic. And go order the Purple Moonlight Pages vinyl if you have $77 lying around. Anyway, thanks guys. Bye-bye.